Okay, so are we waiting for anyone else, or can we
Yes,
start?
we are waiting for two people.
Okay, okay. So we will talk. We will continue. I want to introduce Professor Iyer here. Like, he has been a long-term. He's he's instrumental in bringing MAA and our work to India and South Asia. So he's a very big guy. Thank you, Professor Iyer.
Pleasure, sir. Pleasure here. Pleasure to meet all of you.
Yeah, like, he handles a very large region. He's one of the top math teachers in I would say in the world, right? So I'm so happy that he is here. So he will be handling mostly our IB and top tier schools in South Asia and Middle East Asia, right? So we have a panel of teachers. So he will introduce himself when we move into the slide, like, so any support, any help, any student or any teacher in our program requires, he is our person. So I wanted to introduce. So what I have here, sir, is that I have a set of presentation, but it is kind of, I have put everything. Oh, I think I have another person joining. Okay, I put everything into one slide set. So it is very big, but as much as possible, we will cover today. But you can stop whenever I am boring you guys, right? So then we can and we can come back to the core math things. If that is the direction we want to take, then Professor Iyer will take over. I have a slide set prepared for what all things are available for a teacher with us, for a student with us, several materials, several videos we have. All those things we will be able to provide to you immediately after this call. I mean, this call is for me to understand what exactly you guys require, what support you guys require. But thank you so much, sir, for the interest in MAA and AMC. Like, I was going through your website. Oh, it looks amazing, the work you are doing in Lahore, right? So we had few schools from Pakistan working with us. What is the name of that school? Like, a completely Bacon House, right? So several schools. I think there are several schools like that, but last 2 years they have been little bit inactive during the COVID time, but still we get students from Pakistan, right? I'm so glad that you guys are coming in, and it is an honor to meet with you. And I'm hoping that I'm traveling to South Asia in August. I hope that I can come to Pakistan and come to your school and talk with the students, right? So it will be my pleasure to do that, like in August. So are we waiting for someone else? Can I share my screen and start?
I think you can start. You can start.
Okay, so let us start. Like, for me, I have enough and more time, right? So as I noted here, like, I have a very, very, very detailed note on our work. It can be a little bit long. I counted the number of slides. It's almost 83 slides. So, but I will run through that to give you an overview of what I have, and then we pick it up from the questions and things like that. That is what I'm planning to use. But any more questions on problems and problem solving, Professor Iyer is here, and he will introduce at some point. And Reshma, she is the support coordinator. She's the program coordinator of MAA in India and South Asia. She will be she can answer any question on math, but more than that, she will be the support provider. If you need previous question papers, you need anything, she is the person we can rely on. She knows. She got everything in her hand. Immediately after this meeting, she will be sending you this introduction kit. But anyway, so I am the director of the Transitions Lab University Prep School. I'm the international group manager and the director of mathematical. I direct our international programs, operations outside United States and Canada. And mainly I focus on South Asia, Middle East Asia, and IB schools in Europe and Africa, right? So that is my territory, right? How our work, right? I'm an associate researcher with Study Iowa, a consortium, right? So, but that is not who I am. I'm an engineer by training, but I'm an academician and a trainer, but researcher by passion, so I'm originally from India, but right now I'm living in Canada. As I mentioned here, like my wife, my son, my dog, right? I'm in Canada, but I mostly teach in Iowa and practice in Boston. My office is in Washington. So I'm kind of a global traveler from my work, right? But last 2 years I've been not traveling much, right? So as any one of you, right? So these are some of the places I was there. Each presentation I go back, I look at, oh, this is where I were on 2020, right? So after that, I'm mostly restricted in North America, in US, Canada, and a little bit of travel to Finland, because I closely work with University of Helsinki. So this is some of the work on 2020 we did, so when I was, this is our last major conference, the one of the picture, and I'll talk about that in moving in the slide. That is our Math Fest. So we get a lot of students and teachers from our from our group to come to our conference. But last 2 years our conference has been cancelled. But this August we are having our Math Fest back. So you are most welcome. I will go through that. JMM is in Boston this year. So these are some of the activities. I'm hoping that all the activities can be restarted this year. So far, so good, right? So this is my general agenda I have, but I will run through everything. Then we will come back to specific things, right? I'll talk about what is MAA. I'll talk about what is AMC, how to prepare for that. And beyond AMC, what are the opportunities available for teachers and students who are in our program? And then I have a list of things which I normally pitch to students as teachers. I'm also a teacher, basically, right? And I introduce myself as a teacher. So I am a teacher, right? So based on that, this is what I when I'm talking to the students, inspiring them to take problem solving or these kind of competition, I talk about the value of AMC. I talk about how this will help them in their university prep, what are the possibilities, and how it will improve their problem solving muscles. Then I will introduce certain things as strategies in problem solving, right? So this, and finally I introduce them to the problems, right? So give them an opportunity, because sometimes, but it can be completely different for your students, right? because it is a very focused boarding program you guys are having. So that will give us like your students can be little bit more advanced and very familiar with problem solving techniques. So AMC would be very easy for them. So at this point, I will stop and let us do a round of introduction so that we know what we are dealing with and who are we. So can we start with Professor Iyer? So can you give a brief introduction to yourself, and we'll go from there. So you are, please unmute, Professor Iyer.
Yeah, good morning again all. Thank you for your time, Sam. Thank you for the invite. It's a pleasure again working with you. And then, I've been teaching math since 1993, 1990s. I was a teacher when I was at the age of 19 or 18, 19 was. When I was a student, I was a teacher. So that's the introduction of mine. So last 15, 16 years, I've been teaching international curriculum. I'm an IB examiner, workshop leader, author, examiner of HL. And then I'm also the facilitator of the South Asia IB Schools Association. And then, so I've been associated with IB schools, sorry, A-level schools, and then I consult schools for supporting math program, including some of the schools in Japan, Singapore, and Dubai. And this is my 27th year in math teaching and 16th year in the IB A-level EdXL curriculum, along with AP. I've published AP solutions of 2021 and 2020 first, before anybody does it, and the math solutions of the exam in just 24 hours all over the world. I've published the November 21 IB solutions all over the world. I'm also a facilitator for the teachers across Africa and Middle East on the various forums. Currently, I'm running my own education organization. Besides consulting schools, I'm running my own education organization based in Mumbai, India. And I have also a company based in Dubai. It's called, my office is in Sharjah University. It's called Second Teacher. It's an e-learning organization. All I do is digital, nothing physical much. Traveling has come down, but a lot of digital I do. And I have a team of people in India who support me. And then I closely work with 25 teachers who support me in various subjects. And totally we are a delivery organization. We are a teachers company, proud to say. No employees, all are teachers, and we do our bit of knowledge sharing to students and other teachers, and do workshop, PD, and learners engagement, and support schools. That's my introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Iyer. Like, I want to add a couple of things. Like, Professor Iyer will be like, we will be engaging him. MA will be engaging him to work and his team to work with schools like Sundar STEM and IB schools, specifically focusing and providing support. So anything you require, he is your person, like, and we will connect, and Reshma will be but I'm sure that there is AMC is not when you go through this, you guys know it is not a very complicated thing, but how if the students are faced with some challenges, maybe some help we can provide. Otherwise, it should be easy for you guys, like as math teacher. So let me start with the like from your side. I have Mr. Reshma here. She, as I introduced, she is the support team. She heads our support team. I have Mr. Deepak Puri also here. He is our resident director, coordinating our work in North India. He's just here like to listen, but he is also available. But you can go ahead, sir, like, the principal, sir, like if you can introduce your
Yes.
team, then we can move forward.
Thank you very much. This is Mr. Ghazanfar Hussain with the academics from since 1995-96. I started as an English teacher. Then I also taught Pakistan Studies, Business Studies, 2 A-levels as well, journal paper English as well. Then I became senior master, then I became headmaster, coordinator, O&A levels. Then I became regional manager for O&A levels in the city school, which is another organization like Beacon House in Pakistan. I have been looking after 31 O levels and 10 A levels for years and years. In December 2020, I joined Sundar STEM School. It has been launched with a vision of promoting maths education, computer science, in order to prepare exceptionally talented students for the upcoming challenges of the world. Currently, we are having a student body of 71 students. We have got class 10 having 43 students and 28 students in pre-9, and they are going to be promoted in August as class 9 students. These students actually appeared in the National Science Talent Contest in last October 2021 and twice in February and March 2022. In 2021, the students who appeared, out of which around 50 students appeared, out of which 12 were selected for the second tier ComSet University Islamabad Lahore chapter. and they became part of the 25 shortlisted students for IMO, and out of which a training program was launched, and finally 3 students were further shortlisted for the final team. Not for the final team, but for the second tier of the training program. We are also preparing students for computer science, IPHO, International Physics Olympiad. Currently, our computer science syllabus, math syllabus are are extensive, very challenging, highly focused. And Mr. Muhammad Ali, our HOD, math, will speak about maths curriculum, and another our colleague Mr. Umair Khan will speak about physics and maths, and Mr. Zishan will speak about maths and computer science. Over to Mr. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali Saab.
I have introduced myself already. I'm Muhammad Ali and HOD Mathematics, and I have 20 years experience of teaching A levels mathematics. And now after I think around this is 1.5 years, I have joined Sundar STEM School, and I have an opportunity to teach some, you can see, to prepare my students for IMO, International Mathematical Olympiad. We are following IOPS courses here, Art of Problem Solving, and our senior students, they are doing intermediate math, intermediate algebra, and intermediate counting and probability. Before this, we have finished introduction to geometry, introduction to number theory, introduction to algebra, and introduction to counting and probability. And as Mr. Zanfar mentioned, that our 3 of our students qualified for the IMO Pakistan team, but not the final team, but it is under process. So let's see what happens. And I'm very happy that my students are of 9th class, and they are competing like college students and high school students, and their performance is very good. And I'm really hopeful that we will make in the final. So this is a simple introduction.
Fantastic. All the best for your team, right? So
thank you very much. We have got foreign tutors as well. For maths, we have got Mr. Naveed Safai from Iran, and for computer science, we have got Amir Gohar Shadi from Hong Kong. They also hold online lessons, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours per week. They also share their assessment tests, which are launched over here, and the testing is checked by Mr. Muhammad Ali or by Mr. Zishan or Mr. Ahmad Usman, another colleague of ours who teaches maths and computer science. Actually, we have divided our students into 3 groups, 43 students. One is called IMO section, having 21 students. Another is IOI section, which contains 9 students. And the third one is O-level section. All the students are studying O-level program syllabus along with the most focused syllabus for IMO program, IOI program, and IOI program. That is how the formation of section take place in Pakistan with us at Sundar STEM.
Excellent. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ali, anything else to share?
I think you have explained it very well. And
could you request Umair? Umair, if you could share your ideas with us.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Yes, Umair.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, Umair. I am Umair Khan. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
So, yeah, my name is Umair Khan, and just a brief introduction. I did basically MS Electrical Engineering, and before joining Sundar STEM, I teach at different institutes a few universities. I have also worked as research associate. I have, my research area is basically approximate computing, related to computing, computer architecture. And from last August, I'm working as a maths and physics teacher at Sundar STEM. So currently I'm teaching maths and physics to one of the section at Sundar STEM. And besides the basic O-level syllabus, we are also teaching different courses for which are basically necessary for the international maths competitions. One of the courses, number theory, introduction to number theory. So right now we are doing number theory, and inshallah after that we will be having more courses like counting, probability, and other advanced courses. So that's all about what we are having currently.
Thank you so much, Mekhan. Like,
sir.
you know, when you're mentioning number theory, like, you know, that is my favorite topic. Like, you know, maybe one day I'll talk about that. Like, maybe I'll take a class. Like, you know, I'm so glad that you are working in that area, right? You know? Okay, so who else is here? Like,
I think Zishan is also here.
Okay, hey Ishan.
Zishan.
Is he muted?
Sean, can you hear Sean?
Shan Ali, right? You know, can you
Ishan.
hear? Yeah. So he is muted, right? You know. Okay, so we will come back to him later, right? You know? Oh, he's unmuted. Go ahead, Ishan. Sishan, can you hear us?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes. Hello.
अच्छा ठीक है, लेकिन आप सुन तो रहे हो ना?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, Zishan's headphone has got some issue lately. Zishan is another, you may say, team member with us. He joined us in 2022. He's teaching to pre-9. That is going to be class 9 in August 2022. He's teaching maths and computer science to class 9 as well. Class 9 has recently, got their final exams, and we have just prepared their result. They'll be starting with the summer camp for class 10 from 13th of June 2022. Zishan is very good at maths and computer science, and he's teaching along with Mr. Muhammad Ali to class 9. One paper, algebra, is taught by Zishan and geometry by Muhammad Ali. Mr. Muhammad Ali, could you please correct me if I'm wrong? Are you teaching geometry these days to class 9, to class pre-9?
Yes, I'm teaching introduction to algebra to pre-9. In fact,
Pre-9, and Zishan is teaching.
And Zishan is teaching introduction to algebra.
Introduction to algebra. You are teaching geometry actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, could you please talk about a little bit about geometry and introduction to algebra to our worthy guests?
I think they already know what is introduction to geometry.
I think so. Python is the area which is taught by Zishan, I believe.
Oh, okay.
This is for
Wonderful.
IOI. This is for IOI purpose. CS, our CS section is having Python for in pre-9, and then Mr. American, I think, Mr. American, can you please explain what courses we are doing for CS?
Yeah, I would like to know about computer science also.
Umair.
Go ahead. Umair, go ahead. Oh, no, that's okay. We will come back to that. Like, let us continue. Professor Iyer, do you have any questions at this point?
No, not at this stage. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay. So we will let me run through the thing, and then we will have we can have. This is a conversation. This is, the slides are only a mean to think. Like, you know, thank you so much. I would encourage. I always encourage the teachers in all our schools. We have around 400 schools in our region working with us. We encourage all the teachers to come and teach our students. We conduct regular online seminars. So we have Friday seminars, we have intermittent seminar. We can organize specific class so that we can also drill our teaching skills. We create that kind of an opportunity. And for like, we have a structured payment method also. And beyond that, we provide continuing education credits for the teachers to working with our international students. So it is an opportunity for teachers in Sundar STEM also to expose themselves and get to know international students outside Sundar STEM. So we get normally on our Friday seminars, I will introduce your teachers and students. Reshma will be sending next Friday's invite. So that will be like, we get normally around 60-70 students on a Friday, right? And Sunday morning, I conduct a seminar, Sunday morning India time. I'll talk about all those things. So Mathematical Association of America, like, let me see whether I have the control. Yeah. So I will just run through what I have. Let us not worry about, stop me anytime and we will go into a conversation. So as you very well know, this is the largest community of mathematicians and students and teachers and math enthusiasts, right? But we are like, our aim, Mathematical Association of America, for our 120 years of existence, like I always tell the students, like, I get intimidated walking into MA office in DC. Like it's an old organization. I'm a part of a movement that is a century old. And my office is next door, like, where Albert Einstein used to sit, right? So I'm very proud to be in this kind of a world of problem solving. You remember what Einstein told, like, he think about the problem, and I have his slide in moving forward. So problem solving, I always talk about problem solving than math and science. Okay, of course, that is. So the American Math Competition is a series of examination built around this core idea of problem solving skill and introduce mathematical knowledge to high school and middle school students. But throughout my presentation, whenever I'm getting an opportunity to talk, I'll talk about problem solving and creative thinking, right? So those are the things. And how should you prepare? How can we help? That is a kind of a thing. So this is the problem solving workshop we regularly do. All our registered students or any student who is considering to test themselves on problem solving and creative thinking on American Math Contest. This is an open event on Friday. Normally, this class is taken by Mr. Abhishek Bhattacharya. He was supposed to be here, but Abhishek met with some unfortunate incidents, so he is not available. But Reshma, he delivered yesterday's lecture, right? Is he okay now?
Yes, sir.
He's okay now, right? So convey my regards to him, and you will meet with. He is an amazing resource. He knows, from back of his mind, like he knows Olympiad and Olympiad training. He is an expert in that area. We have a panel of teachers in South Asia, so all those are available for you guys for support, materials, and everything. So connect with Reshma. Reshma will be immediately after this class, send sir a bundle of our introductory bundle, previous question papers, the slides, all these recordings, everything, send it to them, Reshma.
Okay, I'll do that.
So this is the set of things which we provide. Previous exam papers, mock training exams. We provide mocks. If you want us to engage your students, we can do that. We can provide mock training. We can provide mock exam. Most of them are available online. So it is a great, and plus live seminars, videos. Here, it's a very active teaching and learning community, right? What we have right now. So we had last year, like we had around 3,000 to 5,000 students, 3,000 students actively in the program, 2,000 younger students who are considering to take in the future. So this is our region. Overall in the world, we have at this particular last year, we had 700,000 students. So you are very familiar, like, I don't want to go deep into what is, what level a student will get distinction. When the students are back, I'm open to come and talk to them and give them an overview of what is AMC and things like that, or what is the American Invitation Exam, what is the USMO, and what are the other programs of interest, right? But let me go to the next set of slide. Like, this is something which when I'm engaging students, I always ask them, what is your high school experience? And from there, I connect AMC to university prep, right? So Professor Iyer and I, 10 years back, we were working very closely with the students and IB schools in India. So when was that? So 2010 maybe, right?
2010, yeah.
Yeah, 2010, 2014, we introduced the university prep program in India. It was a phenomenal success, connecting a math and science to preparing for the university. Now I have it as an approved university course. It's a credited course. I would, if a student want to engage, this is an opportunity. For AMC students, there is no additional cost for the program, but your students and teachers are most welcome for how in this course I will be generally talking about and teaching and learning about how to navigate the university prep and how we can connect this to the world of I can ask a question. How many of your students consider coming to United States or Canada for their undergraduate studies?
It will depend upon the result, actually. But since we are having the brightest of all from Pakistan, all the students were selected through the National Testing Service. A test was launched, admission test was launched, and then out of 4,400 applications, we selected 103 students, those who were further tested in math and logic on-campus evaluation, and then the shortlisted candidates were invited. So they are highly capable students, and we are having a corollary of teachers who are, first of all, highly dedicated. They know their subjects, they know the demand and the ferocity of the competition in the field of maths and computer science, and they are working since morning till 8:30, 8:40, 8:50, 9 p.m. with students. Most of the teachers live with our students. Mr. Umair, Mr. Zishan, Mr. Ahmad Usman, another teacher of computer science and maths, they live on campus. Mr. Muhammad Ali, maths, computer science, English, Mr. Ali Hashmi and Mr. Muhammad Salim, they commute from their home, but they stay as long as students really need them. So what the resources you will share with us will certainly help students to upgrade their learning, and that is how, when the testing will take place from your platform, then it will further clear up the vision that how many everyone is interested in foreign education, I must say, but it will depend upon their O and A level results, along with some international achievement in the form of IMO or American maths competition. All such things will contribute to win admission in foreign universities.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what I'm thinking is, and I will come to these are some of our major conference. This JMM, this is 2022 in Seattle. Professor Iyer, go ahead. You have a question?
Well, just want to tell you that this AMC in 10th is a big resume building for university. Since I'm also university freshman professor of advanced calculus, so I find this AMC is a huge addition for serious STEM believers. Having an AMC certification 10 standard qualified AMC 10 with a physics HL or a physics A level A star is a potential applicant for an Ivy League STEM program or even a top 100 STEM program, because universities in US look for something outside the curriculum, and nothing better than their own worldwide product called MAA. It's one step above AP. I mean, MA gives the advantage of MA is the talent is at the very young age, unlike IB or AP, which comes at the graduating level towards university. MA finds talent at the very young age. So when somebody is a genius in 10th standard, so imagine his prosperity in maths in 12th standard. He'll be flourishing. So that talent is rare in any country, in any state. So having AMC 10 qualified is a passport to top university in US. No questions asked. Thank you.
Yeah, like, what I will do is like moving forward, when we start our program, we can have your students and teachers remotely, or if possible, come over to Philadelphia for our Math Fest. Like, so I'm calling for papers and we will work on that. So our Philadelphia conference is in August. Sir, like, Principal Sir, like maybe we can have, we will talk about that later, but we can have your students and teachers remotely attending the conference so that I can introduce them to Carnegie Mellon, MIT professors and admission officers, so that the students can ask questions. So we will create that opportunity for you. So let us have all the students in the conference. I'll talk about that with you later. Like in any of conference, including Harvard MIT Challenge, we are organizing Math Premier League. We will talk about all those things. So I am the conference chair for the Hawaii conference. So if any teacher, any student is interested, I'm open to have any new paper. Sir, like, you are an English teacher, like, how can we connect? One of the major thing in math learning and science learning is comprehension, right? So how can we connect? And I'm looking for a paper on how to teach math, what is the language of communication, that kind of an idea. I'm quite interested. So if you have an idea, I'm very impressed, like, you have your interest is in English. Me too. Like, I always tell my students, like, I wanted to not math and science when I was in school. I wanted to learn Shakespeare, right? But my mother thought that math and science is better than English. But
I must say
yeah.
one thing, that literature, along with maths, physics, computer science, has a surer stay in the world till doomsday. It's my faith. Because
absolutely.
No matter how good the scientist you are, how good the mathematician you are, you need life. And literature provides understanding of life. Literature helps us to know, to understand the problems, the sensitivity of the problems. It makes us more patient, more determined, more refined in nature, friendly, to build up a strong interpersonal relationship with fellow students, with cross-community relationships. So reading novel, reading short stories, maybe Urdu literature, Hindi literature, maybe English literature. That's how we pick up some slogans like, Shakespeare says in Hamlet, readiness is all.
Yeah, true. Wow,
I mean,
wow.
readiness is all is applicable in every, in every station of life. Same, he says ripeness is all. Ripeness is all means the more effort you put in, the more amount of productivity you will get in the long run.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
literature has direct link and direct application with every subject. It makes us too much sensitive and responsible that we learn that we need to respond to every challenge that happens in life with us.
Yeah, like I want to share at this point a story which I always tell the students. Like it was like, I think it was 3-4 years back. Like, I was in a lecture by one of the leading black hole scientists, right? In University of Waterloo. Like he started there was a big crowd of maybe around 800 students. Like he is a celebrity professor. Like, I'll send his the talk also. But when he started talking about the black holes and science, he started by saying, oh, all these years I was chasing my white whale, referring to the movie, referring to Moby Dick, right? But most of the students, a lot of students from Pakistan, from India, were in the crowd. But some of them, he later told me in the dinner after the speech, after the lecture, he told me, I think I lost most of them after my first statement, right? If you don't know Moby Dick, if you have not read or at least saw the movie, then you will lose some of the professors when you are in these kind of lectures. So I'm so glad, sir, like you are investing time and energy into these amazing students and taking them think about literature also. I'm so glad. Any help is required. MA is very big in that. We have a huge material and database available, how to teach, how to introduce these kind of things into the curriculum. So I will continue here. So this is something which I talk to the students. I will send my videos and everything. So this is I introduce the value of competition and lifelong learning. What is competition? It's not about fighting with each other, but that lifelong learning, how the competition will help. Then I will talk about values in problem solving. I'll talk about to the students if like moving forward, one of these days we'll talk to the students. Introduce them to creative thinking, and most importantly, intellectual curiosity. Right? So I'm amazed with some of the people, like the Deepak Puri is here, like people who are intellectually curious. It's not about intellectual capacity. Are you curious? So as teachers, one of the key thing MA is we are training, we are telling teachers is one of our job is to trigger their curiosity, right? As to the students, so that is one of the value which we hold very dear to our program. Then research, right? So you have an amazing team, sir. So they already into research. We welcome teachers and students to our research program. So you can come. We have around 11 different journals. You get opportunities to publish for the teachers. There are grants available. There are travel grants available. We are we are not a competition provider, as you know. So we have a lot of funding available. So you add for the teachers, for publishing, for traveling. So that kind of a thing, right? So, and in Pakistan, we are very, very interested. And like I was discussing with my supervisor, Dr. Barton, the other day, I'm meeting with you, that he told, like, Sham, you go, I said, like, I will go, right? So to Pakistan. So we are very, very interested. And look, so this is the kind of, when you are connecting with university prep, this is one of my students, like what we call it, as Professor Iyer mentioned earlier, right? The portfolio of a 11th grade, 12th grade student, how it should look like when you are preparing for the university. So these are some of the things which we introduce on this math and science side, not only AFC. I'm sure that you guys are considering University of Waterloo's program, University of Iowa's program. There is a series of competition related and lectures and things like that. It can be introduced through MA International Program Group, and Reshma will be sending you the collection of products which we offer to the student. And remember, I'm sure that your students are coming from the wealthy background, but if they want, if any student at any point, if you know any of the student who deserves to be in our program but cannot afford it, we are very committed to provide them with need-based support, not only for participating in the competition or even to traveling to United States. I always, every year I get 3 or 4 students who come completely funded by us. And in 2019, we had a team from India came over for our Howard MIT challenge. That's a team tournament. It was completely funded by MA. I hope that we can have a Pakistan team this year in Howard, and next year in MIT for Howard MIT challenge. Reshma, please send those details also to Sundar Stam. Okay, so this is something which I'll run through, and this is mainly a student's thing. Like I talk to them when they are in front of me. AMC is basically our intended outcome is not AMC result. Intended outcome is not even getting into a top university, but qualifying and becoming an engineer, a scientist, or a novelist, whatever it is, after your university education. So AMC work is actually preparation for their entire life, right? And achieve all. I argue that in this manner. So this is what Professor Iyer and we have been preaching a decade back. Like these things will help you to get accepted into the university. It will help you to live and thrive in a top university and achieve all your academic requirements. So AMC preparation is for the future. That is what I argue. So, and I tell the students what top universities are looking at, like habit of leadership, proof of the intellectual capacity. I'm talking about Harvards of the world, right? Right? How engaged citizens are. So I'm sure that your school is providing all these kind of opportunities for the students. But when we get an opportunity, I'll talk to them. And intellectual capacity is one area where we can have AMC and these kind of examination to demonstrate to Carnegie Mellon or MIT admission officer that the student have the intellectual capacity to be in their campus, right? So, but when you are applying to an university, I showed these kind of things to the students where, like, this is a Carnegie Mellon application, like where they are specifically asking, have you taken AMC 10 exam or 12 exam? Have you qualified for AIME? This is a supplement question in their application. So this is directly, as Professor Iyer was saying, this is directly encourage a student or an admission officer to consider the student. So this is one way we can excite them. Oh, we take AMC, so I will be considered. So this way we can inspire a student to move forward. What is an engaged citizen, and how a university look at from in different perspective. That is something which I talk. And this is the learning model in all our program. We call it as an enrichment learning. Like to certain extent, when I'm looking at Sundar Stam, you guys are also doing the similar model. Like you learn something, you experience that, and you constantly reflect with your teacher, right? Something like in a boarding school. I went to a school like that. Like, when I get an opportunity to talk with my teachers outside my classroom to reflect my learning and experience. So it's an honor to meet with the teachers like you, right? Supporting the student even after even things like that. So you want to add something, sir, here?
Thank you very much for such a detailed view provided, shared. Thank you once again.
Sure.
Okay. I have got one or two questions that
Sure.
I want to know the admission season in which we are registration season for American Maths Contest. I mean, when would the registration for schools and students would be starting?
So we have our season have already started. We have right now total registration in my region, in India and Dubai. Those are the two active regions now. So we have more than 300, 400 students already registered. So you can register, pay and register now.
What is the fee per student for registration?
For international students, it is $12, including the $12 US, including the taxes, applicable taxes. Like, so I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the taxes in Pakistan. So it can be a little bit less, a little bit more, but it should be around $12. In Indian rupee, it comes to this year 1,099, right? 1,099.
1,090.
1,090. I mean, and have a conversion to the Pakistan also, what we, our revised rate, and let Sir know, Reshma, and
Okay, sir.
provide all the details for registration. Sir, like, you know, let us have, like, I remember seeing in your email, you are considering to have 30 students, but let us have more students join, like, you know, so if any student, as I mentioned earlier, need a scholarship, let me know.
Okay.
But otherwise, like, let us have all your 73 students in the program, and like, some of them will not be fully qualified, which is okay, right? You know, it will give them an experience, and it will give them a motivation for next year, right? You know. So any other question at this point?
I mean, thank you very much. By now, Miss Reshma would start the presentation. If I would be having any question, I'll certainly barge in. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay.
Yes.
No, I will continue. I'll talk about
Okay.
USMO. Like, you know,
Yes.
if anybody, I have few more slides. I will be
Go
here
on.
little bit. Reshma is also here, so
All right.
she will step in as required. But if, like, it is almost an hour now, if anyone wants to leave, please feel free, right? You know, so
No, we'll be with you.
oh, okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. So the USMO will be the third level. The first level is AMC, then AIME. Why I have here is, like, this, like last year, like, I introduced USMO. Normally, USMO is available only in United States. Like last year, I had it in India, right? You know, so I'm hoping that this academic year I can have USMO, the serious exam in Pakistan also, in your school, right? You know, provided we get enough qualifiers in Pakistan, which I'm damn sure that we are going to get, right? You know, so that will be a great honor for MAA to have USMO in, like, in last 32 years, we have not taken USMO outside United States. So last year, or the last academic year, was the first time we did that. So I want to introduce this in Pakistan also.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. So we provide Olympiad training camps. We have our group have 2 schools now, one in India, one in Canada. It's an outdoor school. Your school students want to come and practice problem solving, this training camp is available. This is an outdoor school kind of a setting. Reshma will be sharing that detail. The next camp is in if I remember correctly, is in October. So that is something which, if you want to, it is a it will not cost a dime for you, only the travel expense and things like that. We will even take care of their accommodation. It's a very modest thing, but everything we will cover. If you want to come to India or to our school in Canada, it's a beautiful location. I'm not sure whether I have it here, but it is on the Lake Huron, on the shores of Lake Huron. You can learn. I enjoy working with the students in that kind of a setting. We learn problem solving, solve some problem, then jump into the lake or take a boat and go fishing, right? You know, so that will be that will be amazing. So I welcome your school to our school is in Kettle Point, which is inside a indigenous reserve. Like, you know, it's one of the beautiful. I think it is that beach is considered to be one of the best beaches in the world. So the students would love that. Right?
Great.
Okay, so how far is Lahore from ocean, from the sea?
It's almost 20+ hours from Karachi.
Oh,
Karachi has got the national beach, national harbor, and we are 20 hours road travel, 1 hour, 10 minutes air travel.
Oh, wow.
Around
Okay.
800 kilometers.
Okay. Like, you know, so I'm always wanted to be in Karachi, right? You know,
you know, our fellow colleague, Mr. Zishan, is much more closer to Karachi as compared to us. Zishan is hardly 200 kilometers away from Karachi, I believe. Zishan, is that so?
No, I don't think so. More than 200 kilometers, I think.
More than 200 kilometers. Wow. Okay. So you mentioned Urdu in your earlier things, sir. Like, you know, so we all, I I learned Hindi through Urdu, right? You know, listening to the music.
Zishan has made the correction. Actually, Zishan is 5 hours away from Karachi, not 2 hours.
Okay,
5 hours away.
fantastic. Wow, okay. So I am originally from India, but on the southern tip of Indian Peninsula, it's a small province called Kerala.
Kerala, yeah, it's a royal state, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was a royal state, Kerala. Kerala
Yeah.
had its own,
Yeah.
it had its own cricket team in 1940s and 50s, I believe. Actually, my mother is also from India. She's from Delhi. So my father went India in order to marry. She lived with us. She died in March 2022. That is why we have got strong love for Urdu literature, because since she was Indian, so she had strong love for Urdu stories, accented Urdu, and she made corrections of our language skills off and on daily basis.
Okay. So every day, like when I go out for walking, I listen to Ghulam Ali, or people ghazals, right? So not when I'm walking in the morning, like people normally listen to speed walking music. I listen to ghazals, right? And so it is kind of, Urdu is very close to my heart, right? But these kind of things will help the students to create a portfolio of experience and help them to find their passion. So this is something which we can tell them. And this is my last slides that I promise I can keep on talking, right? But stop me, right? So this is so how it will help them to solve the this is my last presentation in front of the students in South Asia was in Mumbai International School. I told them, world need problem solvers, right? Not mathematicians, not scientists. We need problem solvers. So AMC will help them. There are severe problems in the world, like climate change, pandemic, artificial intelligence, how security, like a lot of issues, how these things will be solved by next generation using problem solving skills. And I encourage them to consider the future of work, which is when you are looking at the top skills required from World Economic Forum, they are talking about complex problem solving things and critical thinking skills. They are not talking about being an engineer or things like that. This is one of my student. That's an interesting story I'll talk. This when I was in Malaysia to make a presentation in UN. So this Noor, this young girl took me around, and I'm amazed with people around the world, the young people who are into the problem solving and creative thinking, who have been developed through our program, right, over years. So this is the one journal I edit, Transitions in Global Education. I would next issue is coming up on June 18th. So if anyone have this is a print edition and also goes to around 1 million subscribers around the world. If any one of your students or teachers have a paper, we still have openings to publish and come out by June 18. If you have, please send it across, right? Anything related to math or science or your experience, we would love to have, right? So I always, I'm a voracious reader. I encourage my students, whenever I have a presentation, I have a new set of books which I encourage them to read, right? So, but as I mentioned about Albert Einstein, this is something which I tell them, one of the quotes from him, he's my hero, right? So if he mentions, if I have an hour to solve a problem, I will think about the problem 55 minutes and think about 5 minutes about the solution. But most of the students, when they come to our program, I'm seeing they are thinking the other way. They think about the solution and think about the problem less. That is a shift. People like Abhishek, people like Professor Iyer can bring in, and all your math teachers, and we can engage Professor Iyer specifically to switch the students to move from thinking about the problems and thinking less about the solutions. Okay,
Yes.
so then this is another a set which I like to talk about. I'll not I think I'll take only 5 more minutes to conclude, but to give you an idea about how we design the problems, right? So when we talk about problem solving skills, creative thinking, how will we bring that into our exam? So our questions, as you very well know, like in IMO, we invest a lot of energy and thinking into designing our question paper, right? So we have, we take it very, very seriously. As you know, this is our 70th year of AMC, right? So it is very, very important for us to understand how will we fix it. For understanding that, we need to know what is stopping a student from solving a problem. So this is a typical question. This is actually not mine. This is Dr. Dunger's experiment. I'm sure that any math teacher will know that. Professor Dunger's experiment in 1945 in Stanford, he used this to define functional fixedness. So it is something like like I explain it in another manner, like, and I have paper on my desk, and my wife comes and switch on the fan, and the paper start flying. I'm looking for a paperweight. I have an imagination of a paperweight in my head, oval shape, flowers inside. I'm looking for that. My papers are flying, but I forget that I can use my water bottle to put on top of the paper, right? But that should come. That is the problem solving, So Dunger, in his experiment, he realized that, and his experiment in Stanford, he used this in 1945. He gave the students a candle, a matchbox, and a set of pins, and told them to fit the candle into the wall. So most of the students in Stanford were at that time, all these are available on Wikipedia or on YouTube. You can link it, but Reshma will send it to you. But so most of the students, what they did is they tried to use the matchbox, light the candle, try to fix it on the wall. But the solution was very simple. It is called candle problem. Fix your using the pin, fix the matchbox into the wall and put the candle on top. So that is the solution. But 93% of the students in Stanford in Dunger's experiment couldn't solve this problem. No, because it is one of it's called functional fixedness, that kind of a thing. So we put our problems to test what students are struggling with functional fixedness. Some of us have functional fixedness is a serious issue, so we can work on that. So we will, after our exam, we will give our teachers a list of what are the things you can reflect with your student to work on their problem solving muscles, right? And another thing which we built into our questions are, we put a lot of irrelevant information into the question, right? Not to trick them, but they need to slice. World is like that. If you, as a problem solver, there are when I'm sitting here, there are tons of things on my table, like, so you have to slice and dice irrelevant information, sharply focus, so that we can solve the problem. Same thing in math, in AMC or IMO or anything. So we put irrelevant information so that we will know that, like, the students are not to trick them, but are not getting tripped, or they have the system to filter out irrelevant information not related to the question and sharply focus on the question, right? Then another thing is that, the students will hit a barrier when they are solving a problem, even a math problem or a physics problem, is we define the unnecessary constraints into the program, right? Into the problem, right? So say this is defined in the management world with the dot problem, right? So where I'm not going to explain this. You have 9 dots. You need to connect the dots with a pencil without taking it out with 4 lines. How will you do that? But the students, the solution to the problem is you can go out of the dot, right? I'm not going to, because to amazing math teachers, I don't have to explain dot problem, but but making students to think that they can go out. They don't imagine an unnecessary constraint when you are sitting in an exam hall taking AMC, looking at that. You are not moving into you are not constraining yourself that you cannot go out of the box, right? So that is also, we need to engage and encourage students, right? Then the few things are cognitive problems, the mental rigidity. It comes to, oh, I am going to always use this equation or this problem this way, so the mental rigidity is one thing we need to slowly move them away. And for that, these kind of literature and things like that will definitely help the student. In my personal experience, in my classroom, I use novels. I used even Salman Rushdie a lot in my classroom, right? So you as a problem solving technique. And then there are cognitive bias, those kind of things. Then I use the simple things like the puzzle of, the Russian puzzle of a farmer going to the market, purchasing a wolf, a goat, and a cabbage, or you want to cross the river. How will you do that? That kind of an idea, so we will. So I use those kind of puzzles also. I'm sure that any math teacher will be using, and I use that extensively to trigger their thinking and problem solving muscles, right? So that is, it comes to that that unique creative leap is required. And I talk to them about. Go ahead. Anybody have a question? Okay, then I'll continue. I'm a math teacher, but I'm quoting from Salman Rushdie to Pythagoras, right? So it is, math is my favorite code, the foundational element of problem solving, right? It is very, very important. I'm sure that any math teacher will be like that. You'll hear geometry in humming of the strings, that there is music in spacing of sphere. It's an amazing code, right? So AMC use math for this unique problem solving muscles. Then we have a series of strategies for problem solving. I think I will stop here, and this is available on video. And what is Reshma, please send all these video to sir.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. If you have any question, this is an opportunity to talk. But we are going to see each other a lot. I am going to invest a lot of time in Pakistan, right? If you want us to take a class, or pitch class, I'm glad. I would be definitely. I'm looking forward to come to Pakistan in August and September, and we'll go from there. Any more questions, sir? Anyone?
Yes, Ali.
Okay, can we? This I have one suggestion, or you can say a question. Can we?
Sure.
Can you send some material to assess our students, or you can manage any online competition, or to assess our students? So just to see that now where they stand.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Reshma, can we send we can send an online timed exam for them so that we will get an actual data. We will start with AMC 10 or AMC 12, 10 or 10, or even something like a GOS exam, an entry level exam. We can design that. Reshma, how quick you can put together something and send it? In another a day, in next 24 hours, can you put together a class marker question to one of the previous things
our
you can
students
give?
are now on vacation. They will be back on 12th of I think June.
They'll be joining school on 13th of June.
13th of June. Oh, I
yes.
absolutely.
We have time. We have time for this.
Okay, so I will discuss with Professor Iyer and create a question on class marker. So it will be timed exam. So they log in and we will get the data directly. And then we will evaluate that and give our assessment of your 73 students back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that we can do as Professor Iyer, we can do that on by the week of 12th, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can do that. We look forward to do that. Reshma, please start working on that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So if there is no other question, I will not bore you with my long lecture.
Your slot was full of load. You share loads of information, very interesting facts, and the way problem solving is supposed to be handled at different levels. Thank you once again for all you shared with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And more information Reshma will be sending. And I will be constantly in touch. And so I'm going to invest some serious time in Pakistan so that we can. So, sir, if you have students outside the Sundar STEM, other teachers, bring them to our program. Sundar STEM can become a center for us in Pakistan, in Lahore. Anyone, anywhere in Pakistan. Earlier, few years back, one Mr. Safar Khan, if I remember correctly, I will connect you with him. He contacted us and me. We had several discussions. He seems to be a very rich man or wealthy man you might know him, Safar Khan. He was a successful entrepreneur in Silicon Valley, and he wants to invest and grow math and science in Pakistan. But we had several discussions in the beginning, but I'll try to connect with him and try to see what we can do beyond that and introduce this program to the students outside Sundar STEM or like Bacon House, that kind of schools, to the common people also, right? So I mean, everyone is common. What I'm saying is students outside this like high-end schools, like anyone anyone interested in math, please let us know, and I would be glad to provide any kind of support to those students too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure, right? Talking to you all guys, and so
pleasure all the way from our side as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'll connect with all of you, right? And give me an opportunity to teach a number theory class.
Oh,
right?
sure.
I'm just kidding. I will send a special request to Muhammad Ali sir for giving my credentials as for the
that will be great
for
opportunity
taking a
to,
class.
Sure.
It will be an honor to teach in Sundar STEM. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'm fresh now. I cannot sleep, so I will start working with Reshma.
Right, all right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
sir, for organizing. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure to collect information, to interact with you, and to realize that there are people who are ready to spread maths education, science education across the continents, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. We will introduce you to amazing people, right? Who are very, very committed to what you guys are doing. We are ready to support them, so absolutely. Okay, then thank you for your patience. And I took more time than I expected. Sorry about that.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
it was pleasure all the way.
Yeah. Okay. So we will continue. So the week after 12th, I'm expecting the students to be more active when they are back, more active in our program and things like that. So hopefully by October, we will see your students in Canada also. Maybe we can go out fishing, right?
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.